Long way, get this shit a long way, this shit a long way. Long way, hit the long way, 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 shit, long way, long shit, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit a long way, finish rich, yeah. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit a long shit, don't really understand, man. Gotta know what shit, don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, shit, don't understand, shit. Shit be trippin' every day, shit be trippin' every way. But I gotta get this shit a long way, yeah. Tryna get money every single way, tryna get money every single day, yeah. Get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. I'm feeling like we be the new slaves. No, we gotta finish rich. No, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand rich. She don't understand niggas gotta get rich. She don't understand sometimes we gotta hit lit. No, we ain't hit lit. Tryna get the long way, yeah. Tryna get the shit the long way, yeah. Coach tryna wrap up a entree, yeah. Told you the other day that did my phone strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Yeah, get the shit the long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like a phone way. My name is Tari, I ain't playing games, so I'm done talking. Yesterday she told me that she about to leave, man. Said fuck it, bitch, we gonna get some money. Said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I want to get some money, yeah. Cause we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get shit the long way, yeah. Back and forth like the pong way, yeah. Man, I'ma get this shit the long way, get this shit the long way. Just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy. We gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day. We be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, for me, yeah. So we gon' get this shit the long way, 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 yeah, we get this shit the long way, yeah, cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, yeah, we gon' get the long way, yeah.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. One second here. 2023, the year of SMD. How can I see? Because there's nobody like me. That's a fact. There is nobody like me or SMD. Welcome, you guys. Welcome. What's up, Soon to Rise? Robert, Miss A.B., Arlene. Hello. Welcome, everybody. My name is LJ Young, and I'm the founder of SMD. I'm LJ. SMD is the family. I'm separate from SMD. I'm part of SMD. SMD is a family of people like me. All the people that trust the calculator. That's it. We just trust the calculator. That's it. Nothing big, fancy. But anyway, I'm here to share my gift. And my gift is that I now understand there's a psychological part in capitalism. There's a psychological piece. I didn't even know that. Didn't even know that until I freed myself. Until I owned the business of myself. That's when I'm like, oh, you mean the whole time I never owned nothing? Nothing. I didn't own anything. Making six figures. Didn't own nothing. All right. I'm just here with this newfound discovery knowledge. I now understand that currency doesn't really exist. Currency is psychological. You know why? Because it's debt slaves. Currency, taxes, insurance plans, insurance policies, retirement plans, 401ks, after tax, before tax, Roth IRAs. It's all you, debt slaves. It doesn't matter if it's before or after taxes. It's all you. Everything is you. None of that stuff could exist without you, debt slaves. You think I knew that when I was a debt slave? Nope, I didn't know that. Anyway, With knowing this, you have a, I'm trying to put words to something that is psychological. That's why I'm looking around. I'm looking for a word for it, because when it's psychological, there's really no word for it. So you got to just something that's going to relate to you guys. When you understand how it works, you now understand mortgages. They don't buy houses, they buy people. Mortgages buy people, not houses. That you can't buy. Listen, you cannot buy a house with a mortgage. That's impossible. I used to think that until I got out. I'm like, oh shit. Because there's like two extra parts to the economy. There's a psychological part and there's a positive and negative part. They're all, but debt slaves, you guys are the negative part, but you don't know you're the negative part. That's the psychological piece to it all. Debt slaves don't know that they're debt slaves, and they also don't know they own nothing. You guys can't cash flow for mortgage properties because you got to buy the property first before you can cash flow. You can't cash flow before the bank. You can't own a house and get the equity. Like, you don't have the money to buy the house, right? You finance it, and then all of a sudden you magically believe you own the equity in a house that you didn't have the money to buy. That's impossible. No, but you don't know that. That's the psychological part. This is what I do. I help people come on the positive side of the economy. Once you're here, you understand that there's a you could see the psychological piece after that. Once you own yourself, you can see the psychological piece, and you'll turn around, look at it all, and see how it all works. The majority must be debt slaves. You guys must believe you guys can invest in the stock market, cryptocurrency, home ownership. You guys must believe all that. That's part of it. You have to believe that. You must believe that you can own the equity and when a house appreciates and all that stuff. All that stuff is for people who buy the houses in cash. That all it works for people who buy cash. Houses only appreciate for the owners, not people with mortgages. Okay. With knowing that the debt slaves, you guys are everything. You guys are the currency. You guys speak very differently, but you don't know how you're speaking. That's the part when SMD brings you to the positive side of the economy, you will hear things very differently, because debt slaves, they don't really know what they're saying. Like you guys, for example, let me give you an example. Debt slaves believe when they finance a car for 84 months and drive it off the lot, they really believe they got the car on the sale at the sale price. So say like a debt slave goes by and sees a great deal on a car for $40,000. Debt slaves go into the car lot, they finance it for 84 months, drive it off the lot, and tell all their friends how much, not only how much the car costs, how much on the sale price they got. Hey, this car was $40,000, but they financed it for 84 months. The sale price that you see on the car, that's for cash buyers only. Cash buyers. That's not for people who finance cars for 84 months. Because when you guys finance cars, not only do you finance all the stuff that they throw in the contract and all that extended warranties and mats and bumper-to-bumper coverage, you guys just pile it all into a big old finance something, right? So if you guys don't have the money to buy the car, which is the reason why you're financing the car, that's the real reason. You don't have the money to buy it. You guys also finance the taxes that go along with it, because if you ain't got the money for the car, guess what else you ain't got the money for? The taxes. So you guys throw the taxes in there too, and you finance it, and then the bank puts an interest rate on top of that. So if you have horrible credit, they'll wrap all that shit in one big ball and then put a high-ass interest rate on top of all that stuff. Compounding interest for the bank. All of it compounds. They only do that to people that don't understand. People who finance cars. That's That's not even including if you're upside down in the car. They roll negative equity. For the life of me, check this out. This is funny when I bring this up, right? When I was a debt slave, I always found it weird that the banks allowed you to roll negative equity into a new mortgage loan. That shit never made no sense to me. I was like, what? You mean to tell me like this? Here's an example for those of you guys don't know what negative equity in a car is, right? If you owe more on the car than what it's worth. So say like, I'm gonna keep the numbers low to keep it simple. Say like you were coming to trade in a car and the car was worth 10,000, but you owed 15,000 on it. Okay. That's called negative equity. You are upside down in the car. You owe more on the car than what it's worth. So you're going to take this car in and try to trade it in. The dealership is going to say, hey, this car is only worth $10,000, but you owe 15. But you want to come and get into a new car. They're going to take that 5,000 and then they're going to add it into your loan, along with the taxes and everything else, because you have absolutely no money. And then when they stick that high interest rate on top of it, that should tell you that's for people that don't know, because only people that don't know, first of all, finance a car. That's number one. Only people that don't know finance depreciating object, which is a car. But when you're upside down with a high interest rate, that's an indicator that you don't know. You don't know how it works. You know how much money the bank makes on that? Now it makes sense. Before it didn't make sense. I was like, why? And also on top of this is what you guys must also know. If the banks didn't allow that, you know how many people couldn't finance cars? That's one thing when you debt slaves, you guys talk amongst each other like about financing cars like the shit is normal. You guys don't share who's upside down in the car. You guys don't share that information. Oh, hey, I like, man, your car is tight. Yeah, but I'm upside down in it. You guys don't share that information. What you guys don't know is this. If you're making car payments, the driver of the car is irrelevant. It doesn't matter who's driving the bank's car. That's the bank's car. What's up, Kill Lord, Dark Knight? That's the bank's car. You guys don't know that. You guys also don't know you can't save for retirement while having student loan debt. What else? Like I said earlier, you can't invest in cryptocurrency because you haven't invested in yourself. Here, let me give you an example of the positive side of the economy and the psychological part. You guys don't know you cannot invest into retirement when having no money. That's impossible. So say like you have student loan debt, but you're investing into retirement, right? What you're doing is mathematically impossible. You can't do that. But since you don't know that, that makes you the policy. It's you. Now you become the retirement plan when you invest with money you don't have. But that's all business. I really don't care. That's just how it works. Because you guys, you can choose to be the retirement plan or create a real retirement plan. You got options. You got two choices: be the retirement plan or create one. And also, when you're looking at it, you're like, this is what you got to really think, Death Slaves. You guys really don't think like this, but you got to say, why am I depending on something outside of myself as a retirement plan? How come I can't how come I can't be the retirement plan? You can. It's a choice. You don't have to believe that that retirement plan is going to take care of you. You can take care of yourself. All you got to do is just make up your mind. It's like, this is all you got to do. I'll do it myself. That's it. You can create your own retirement plan, and then you won't care what the stock market's doing. You know how when the stock market does flip-flops and the retirement plans do this? That's up to you if you want to be part of that. You don't have to be part of that. You can create your own where it has nothing to do with that. So whatever it does, it won't concern you. unless you're playing around in there. Once you understand put it this way, the stock market is you, debt slaves. All these professionals that are telling you about the stock market and all that stuff, they're telling you from the negative side of the economy. The stock market is you. When I see this is what I do. When I see the stock market do stuff, I look at you and see what you guys are doing. And then I look back at the stock market and it always matches. It always matches. It's not rocket science, because I know it's you. All those graphs and stuff, all these people with different videos and shit like that, they don't know it's you. Those are debt slaves too, telling you about the negative side of the economy. What's up, Greek Surgeon? Dark Knight? I have not read that book. Three to 6 months savings before you start investing. Personal, I will invest Vanguard, S&P. Well, here's another thing too. And these are things that you will notice when you become on the positive side of the economy. Things like when you say 3 to 6 months of savings, you won't really talk like that no more. That kind of talk is a long time ago. It's like, I'm trying to explain the psychological. If you're, put it this way, if you're still saying, and not just you, Dark Knight, a lot of people say that, okay? I'm not just saying you. But if you're a person that talks like that, that means you're not where you're supposed to be yet. If you're still thinking about saving 3 to 6 months and then start doing something. You know what I'm saying? What are your thoughts on cash pay jobs? What does that mean, cash pay? You mean under the table? Is that what you're talking about? Let me know what you're talking about, Jesus. What's up, QJC? Yeah, I heard it's a pretty good book. I think I'll read it, because if it says that, yeah. But I believe, and I'm sure I'm going to see similarities, because I want people to understand something. I'm doing something that has never been done before, ever. What I'm doing now has never been done. I'm the first one doing it my way. Actually, let me make sure this is clear. I discovered the psychological piece in capitalism. So what that means is that it was already here. Somebody already created it. I'm just now seeing it. That's all. So that means there's a people, not many, but there's a few people that know something well beyond me. Okay. I just have a seat in the stadium. Let me make sure that's clear. I now have a seat in the stadium of the United States. Now I know I'm looking down at you guys, you debt slaves, see what you guys do and stuff like that, how stuff got to keep balanced. I'm just paying attention. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. It's the breakdown, the psychological piece. That's what's make you different. Yes, the psychological piece. And it's here, let me if you're new to the channel, I'm gonna show you something, okay? All right. This is for the people with car payments, okay? I want you to get your calculator out, okay? Get your calculator out. Now, see this right here? Now, this is both of these are fake money, right? This is fake money. This is six $100 red bills and one green bill to represent like our real money, okay? Money is psychological for debt slaves. It's all psychological. It doesn't even exist because it's you, okay? This right here, you've never seen before, but it's just as real as this. Actually, debt slaves, you guys use more of this than this, but there's no reason to print this. There's no reason. This is purely psychological. You guys have never seen this, but it exists. It's psychological, okay? Now, this is for the people with car payments, okay? Now, the average car payment is $700 a month. Now, imagine you're holding this $100 bill in your hand, and it's real. Pretend it's real, right? It really doesn't matter, but hold this $100 bill in your hand and open up the calculator app in the other. I want you to put in 100 minus 700 and then hit equal. According to the calculator, do you have $100 in your hand? The answer is no. Why? Because money doesn't exist for debt slaves at all. Now pretend I am handing you these 6 $100 red bills that represent negative dollars. According to the calculator, do you have negative $600 in your hand? Yes. Here it is, right here. Look, it's right there. I just made it visible for you to see. It's still there. I could take it away. The calculator still says negative $600, but I'm just showing you so you can translate it in your head. Now you can come to the positive side of the economy and you're like, oh, you mean this money only exists for people like us? Yeah, that's it. Just for people like us. Who's on the positive side of the economy? These don't exist. When you're on the positive side of the economy, we don't use these. They're gone. They don't exist anymore. We use these. But none of these exist for you guys. I mean, they do, but you don't know that. Having a food delivery job like Uber Eats, DoorDash, any good for the tax season? It's well, you gotta remember, Jesus, those are companies they are working for. So the people they are working for is reporting that income. So it's not really under the table. The majority of people that do those DoorDash jobs, they're not paying their taxes. They're not. They're coming. Excuse me. Think about it this way. The majority of those people that do delivery jobs, they're coming from W-2 jobs, okay? Where the job takes out their taxes for them before they get their check. So the gross check, and then there's a net check. They get the net check minus all the taxes and all the other stuff, healthcare or whatever. Now, with 1099, they have to do it themselves, but most don't. They don't do it. They don't, along with not paying taxes, they don't file either. They just skip year after year not filing taxes. Now, you guys got to remember, there's a lot of people doing delivery jobs. There's a lot. So that means that's a lot of people not paying their taxes. That's a problem. That's a big problem. That's a big problem. A lot of people not paying their taxes because all the companies they're working for, you got to remember, the IRS can see how much money they're losing because Uber Eats, they're reporting, they are reporting who they're paying. That's the only way they could be in business. They got to tell the IRS, okay, who have you been paying 1099 or however all that shit works, right? But they have been reporting, so they can clearly see all these people that they're reporting that's working for them. They can clearly see that they're not paying the taxes, and they can clearly see how much tax revenue they're losing. They can just look at it. The majority of people are doing it to make some quick money, to go buy some shoes, get some gas money, some money to go out, just not paying and not filing. Now they're too scared to file taxes because they haven't filed in 4 or 5 years. That's a problem. That's going to have to change. Believe that. That's going to have to change. Because you got to remember, I'm sure, growing up, it was automatically, every job I worked for, taxes were taken out before I got my check. Never once did I look and say, was it always that way? They probably was like, okay, no, we got to put a stop to this. We got to take the taxes out before they get their money, else we're never going to get the money. I think they're gonna have to do something like that. They're gonna have to automatically take people's checks out of delivery jobs or taxes out of people's delivery jobs. I can't see any other way of doing it. I just can't. I can't. They can't go after everybody. There's too many of you guys. You guys are working like 3 and 4 delivery jobs at once. You know how much tax revenue that is? That's a lot. Every time I watch, put it this way, every time I watch people that make videos on YouTube about delivery jobs, how many jobs they're doing, they're sleeping in their car. Never once do I hear them talk about paying how much they put aside to pay their taxes. Ever. They never say that. Ever. I'll be listening for it. I'll be like, let me hear one person say, I've put away X amount away for taxes. If you're sleeping in your car and you're doing four delivery jobs, 16 hours a day or whatever you're doing, you're not paying your taxes. That you're clearly not paying your taxes. No, you're not. When you come on the positive side of the economy, that is clear. All the people that are not paying their taxes, they tell you they're not paying their taxes without knowing they're telling you. And be open about not just the score, be free. Oh, yeah, yeah. How does Dave Ramsey get away with telling people you can still invest while still having a mortgage? I know it's business, but still, that it's just business. That's how he makes money. Listen, that's obvious how he makes money. Obviously, it's like, put it this way, it's like you know how Robert Kiyosaki always says, hey, I love debt. Debt makes me rich and this and that, right? But he never says, hey, you guys, but everybody, I'm talking about business debt. You ever notice he never says that, right? I know he's talking about business debt. Debt slaves, you guys don't know he's talking about. Hey, I heard Robert said to use debt. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Did he say what kind of debt? No. Is there a difference? I know. That's why he doesn't say it. Maybe. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think, listen, if it was me and I was Robert, I would not say business debt. I would just keep saying debt. That way I'm not lying at all. I'm saying debt. Dave Ramsey, think about it with Dave. They get down, because you got to remember, if they get down to their mortgage, right, that's going to take years to pay off. If he just, and I think it about business wise, okay? If he really told them to go that way, that means he would lose a customer for years. They're not going to come back to him until the house is paid off. And that could be decades. You know what I'm saying? When you get down to the house, it won't be that long, but that means they're going to be gone at least 5 years. But if you can get them to believe that they can do it at the same time, that's money. It's just business. I get it. I totally get it. Because I remember when I was following Dave Ramsey's plan, right? And I got to that part to where he says, hey, when you get down to your mortgage, start putting away 15% into retirement. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. And this is what I said to myself, because I'm an engineer. I said, so I use the calculator the whole time while I'm getting out of debt. But when I get to this point with the mortgage, I stopped using the calculator. I was like, that doesn't make sense. Okay. That's when I just jumped off the Dave Ramsey train. Now that I'm on the other side, the positive, the psychological side, and then I look back at him doing that, that's just business. Okay. That's how you do business. Just like religion, right? He throws in a lot of religion. Religion has nothing to do with mathematics. Maybe that's just his Dave Ramsey thing, but it has nothing to do with anything. It has nothing to do with finances at all. Because if you think about it like this, right? Think about it like this. I've heard people come on the show and says, hey, do I keep tithing while I'm getting out of debt? Now, if Dave Ramsey told them the truth, you can't tithe while you have debt. You have no money to tithe. You can't do that. That wouldn't be good. That wouldn't be good for business. Because mathematically speaking, you cannot tithe if you're in debt. If you have a mortgage, you don't have 10% of anything to put anywhere because you have a mortgage. But that would be end of business. See, so I wouldn't. But what I do, I just go straight to it. I don't really care how people. And then you come on this side, and then you create a business. You follow what Dave. Okay, Dave Ramsey uses. He says this to do that. He adds in religion. You add in your own flavor of whatever to make business. Okay, I feel like it would be better if I use this and that to do this and that. It's just business. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You do what you choose to do. As long as it's legal, long as what the person is doing is 100% legal, I don't care what they do. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with me. Put it this way. I know Dave Ramsey is not talking to me. That's all I know that. He's just not talking to me. He's talking to the people that don't get it. But he's helping people. He helped me. Put it this way, without Dave Ramsey, I wouldn't have looked at debt the way I did as an engineer. And I heard him, I was like, he's just using basic math. I was like, what? It can't be that easy. I mean, it's easy to understand when you just use the math. It's hard work to get out of debt. That's the hard part, to actually do it. Most are net negative. Sure are. A lot of them. A lot of people listen to people because of status. Grant Cardone, Anthony how do you say his last name? And many more. Those guys like Grant Cardone, he's not talking to me. Put it this way. Okay, so you guys can get it. If I see somebody's ad and he's flashing money, I know he's not talking to me, because I understand the paper money has nothing to do with anything, because it's you guys, debt slaves. It has nothing to do with the paper. But if they show paper money, he's not talking to me. He's talking to people that are mesmerized by seeing fake money on an ad. Because you can buy that money, that prop money they use, you can buy that. It looks damn near real. But if you're moving it, you can't really tell it's not. All you need to do is picture that put it this way, since it's Grant Cardone, you automatically assume that the money he's holding is real, because look, he drives these cars, and when you start out an ad inside of your Rolls Royce, I know he's not talking to me, because if you're talking about money, why are you driving? Why don't you just be still and talk? Why are you moving around? Why are you saying hello to everybody and moving the camera around so I can see the double R on the seat and the steering wheel? Okay, you're not talking to me. Then I just leave. Why do you guys think they use cars? Because you guys are just fantasized about cars that you're never going to get. You don't even know how the person that's showing you the car, you have no idea how they got it. Put it this way. When somebody shows you, say it like this, when somebody shows you a fancy sports car, find the person that pulls out the title and says, "This is my car, look." Never once have I seen anybody with a fancy exotic car pull out a title and say, "Look, I own it." I've never seen that ever. Nobody ever does that. You guys are so mesmerized by the car, if they are making payments, it doesn't matter who's driving the exotic car. It's the bank's car. And guess what? The bank don't give a shit about no car at all. Period. Nothing. You see somebody with a fancy car, you say, "Are you making payments?" "Yeah." "Okay, whatever." Then it's just a car. That's also the very reason why the government is trying to tax CashApp, Zelle, and Venmo. They are losing. Yeah, that's just business. Put it this way: when you come on the positive side of the economy, and you understand the psychological piece in capitalism, taxes help build wealth. Believe it or not, taxes are not bad. They're only bad when you're on the negative side of it. Anything, put it this way. Any word you associate with some kind of money or taxes, remember that word is positive or negative. Okay. And what determines, let's use the word taxes. Okay. Taxes, the word is positive or negative. What determines that word, what determines taxes to be positive or negative is the person using the word. If somebody's turning to you, I mean, if somebody's talking to you about taxes and they're real emotional and they're like, oh my God, taxes will keep me down. I can't do this because of taxes. I can't do that because of taxes. You stop them and say, are you making car payments? You have student loan debt? Yeah, they're talking about the negative side of taxes. That's why they hate them, because they're in debt. That's why they hate taxes. When you finance a car, you finance taxes too. That's why you don't like them, because you're financing them. When a person buys a car in cash, they pay for the price of the car, and then they pay for the taxes associated with the purchase of that car. And then the deal is done. You guys take the same thing, wrap them in one, and finance them for 84 months. You're financing taxes. That's why you hate them. And then when you come to the positive side of the economy, you clearly see that you guys are the taxes. Debt slaves is you. Cheating on taxes would be cheating on myself. Do you understand? If I cheated on my taxes, I'm just cheating on me. The word cheat means I don't understand how they work. That's why I'm cheating. That's why I get angry and mad and think they're doing something. Look how many taxes they're taking out of my check. What are you talking about? What? Oh, you, because it's you. Man, I sure wish I could take home that gross. That's why you don't get it, because you don't know how it works. That's why they take it. Because if they gave you the gross, guess what you're going to do? You're going to go give it to all the companies by what? Go financing their shit. Financing phones and cars and doom buggies and motorcycles and go-karts and bicycles and Peloton bikes. You guys finance everything. Taxes are your friend. Taxes are not bad. They're not evil. They're not nothing. They are jucking self-employment taxes. You know, put it this way, you guys, okay? And I'm gonna give you twofold. I'm gonna give you twofold of advice. If this is you, and you are out there doing these delivery jobs to get this money, and you haven't paid your taxes in years, after about year two, now you're just too nervous to do it. You're trapped. Now you trapped yourself. You're trapping yourself on the negative side of the economy, waiting for the knock at the door. Hey, this is the IRS. Hey, how you doing? Hey, let's pretend I'm the IRS. Hey, how you doing, John? Yeah. We haven't heard from you in like 5 years. You've been working? Yeah. Oh, okay. Uber Eats, all those delivery jobs. Yeah. We know. We'll just see if you're gonna say yeah or not, right? Anyway, you know what they told us? You've been working for them all this time, and you ain't been paying us no taxes, nothing. You got it? No, we already know you don't got it, because we checked your bank account and we ran your credit report. You don't have nothing. So guess what we're gonna take? You. We just bought you. You sold yourself to us. Now you're going to be owned. Listen. Now they're going to charge you interest on top of the taxes you owe, and you're going to be owned by them until you pay the money back. Until you pay the money back, they own you. So the longer you procrastinate on going to them and saying, hey, I did it. Yep, that was me. You're holding up the inevitable. It's going to catch up to you. Or you can do this. You can go look for a tax attorney listen, this, and I want you to listen closely. You look for a tax attorney who is personally debt free. That part is a requirement. They must be personally debt free. You go to them and you say, hey, look, I've been working for the last 5 years. Here's all my check stubs. Here's all my whatever financial information you get from all these places. And you say, I haven't been paying anything. Here, this person, the lawyer, tax lawyer who's personally debt free, they will file your shit properly. Because the tax attorney who's personally debt free, they know there's a psychological piece in capitalism. And they know in order for you to become wealthy, your taxes must be straight. So when you go to this person, they're going to know how to fill out the IRS forms properly to relay this information to them. And when you pay this person to do it right, to submit your information, it's going to do two things. Not only is going to start, you're going to get some kind of something, right? But it shows that now they don't have to waste resources coming after you. When they see how it will be filed, they will know it's done exactly right. So that means you took it serious. That means you took it very serious, what you were doing. That shows initiative that you're trying to get it right, because you submitted all the information right the first time. They don't have to say, hey, you did this wrong. Put this paper back. You didn't sign this. You didn't sign out this thing. This tax attorney who is personally debt free will file it properly the first time. I guarantee you they don't see it that much like that. They don't see it properly filed like that, too much like that. I can't picture that. And get yourself out of it. Especially if you're young. You think you're deep in debt, especially if you're in your early 20s and you owe the IRS $2,000. That's nothing. I promise you, $2,000 is nothing. Take care of it now, because it's going to catch up with you later. I promise you, it is. That's a scary problem. Many are not paying that. Many are not paying. That's a problem for the whole economy. Think about it this way so you guys can understand. Would you say dark night taxes are important? So many legal ways to evade them. Once you're debt free, it's easier to understand. And see how you use, don't even use the word evade. It's just avoidance, right? You only can know, the IRS are the only ones that can tell you which taxes you can avoid. They're the only ones to tell you. So of course they have to be involved. So it's not even evading or anything, Most doing their taxes wrong way to, exactly, most are. Because say like you haven't filed your taxes in years, and then all of a sudden after 3-4 years, then you try to fill it out yourself. That's almost like an insult. I'm sure the IRS can see that a million miles away when somebody sloppily fills out some kind of tax form. That's got to be obvious. I'm sure they got computers to kick that shit out. Probably just kick that right back to you. Boom. We see that a million times a day. Kick it back, kick it back, kick it back. Would a positive for taxes be 401k? Put it this way, okay, I'm gonna tell you guys from the positive side of a 401k. All right, so you can understand. When you have no debt, you see the true purpose of a 401k. The true purpose of a 401k not only is to save for retirement, but also to save on taxes every single year. Every single year. Now remember, when I was a debt slave, there's always things that confuse me when I was a debt slave comparing to what I know now. Okay, so when I was working as an engineer, I was making 6 figures. My last job was 160 a year. I'm just saying that. I don't want you to think I'm bragging like it's a lot of money, because I don't want you to think that. I'm just telling you something, okay? $160,000 a year. I remember when the 401k limit back then was like $19,500 a year to fully fund a 401k, okay? Now I remember saying to myself, who in the hell can take $20,000 out of their annual salary a year to put into a 401k? I used to say that, making six figures, making $160,000 a year, I still was saying that. Now it confused me. I was like, wow, who can do that? That's a lot of money. People that are not in debt can do that. Once I got out of debt, that was nothing. And then I learned, I was like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me if I put $20,000 into my 401k, in the same year, I can take off $20,000 off my annual income? That's like double dipping. I was like, hell yes, 20,000. That was the first time I ever did that because I was debt free. I said, hell yeah, I'm doing that. Because listen, when I got a raise to get $160,000, I was looking forward to my next check. I was like, ooh, I can't wait to see that next check. The next check was smaller than the previous check when I made less money. I was like, always the things that don't make sense. I was like, what? That doesn't make sense. That's when I started learning about tax brackets. Oh, if I move up in tax bracket, I'm up in this percentile, this blah, 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 they take X amount. I was like, oh. And then I said to myself, well, how can I get it down? Well, if you put $20,000 into your 401k, it'll bring you down in your tax bracket. And then also you get to put money away into retirement in the same year. I was like, what? Boom. And then I brought myself down, got more money on my check. I was like a triple dipping. I was like, damn. Why could I do that? Because I wasn't in debt. Debt slaves believe, when you ask a debt slave, and this is all you guys got to do, ask a debt slave, hey, have you maxed out your 401k? You know what they're going to think? Talking about the match. Oh yeah, I'm matching. You know, I'm not going to leave no money on the table. What money on what table? There's no money on anywhere. You know what match is really for, debt slaves? For you guys to invest into retirement more. That means you guys are not investing enough. So they got to make up some shit to entice you. And if you guys believe you're going to get free money, guess what you're going to do? You're going to invest more. It's just business. I mean, if you got student loan debt, you can't do nothing. You're not matching anything. So in order, you got thousands of videos on YouTube talking about, hey, don't leave that money on the table. Make sure you get up to the 6% match and 3% match. Do you know they're talking about the negative side of the economy, people? They're not talking about nothing. They're not saying anything. That's just for you to buy or sell or whatever they want to do. It's business. I don't really care. You better get you some, okay? You better get you some. I don't care. If they're selling you something and it's legal and it's federal, the feds know and the local and state know and they're all licensed properly the way they're supposed to, I do not care. They're paying their taxes properly. They're not behind on taxes. The IRS is not after them. Anybody, listen, if I come across a business and this person owes back taxes and the IRS is after them, I'm not doing anything with them. Nothing. Goodbye. You got a problem you need to fix there. That's a problem. We can ask them if they're, hell yeah, ask them. Ask them. Put it this way, okay? A lot of you guys are just like too fearful to ask a finance person that question. You're like, oh my God. They might say, they're messing with your money. If you're, put it this way, if you're going to go to a person that you're going to let them handle your money, why would you be nervous about asking them a question? Why would you be nervous? Hold on for a second. Sorry about that. I apologize. Sorry about that. How long I was talking. Okay, back on. Now I'm gonna give you guys some free advice. Okay, I got to start all over. I'm gonna give you guys some free advice. When you go see a professional lawyer, finance, something, a professional accountant, tax attorney, anything, anybody that's professional. Okay, when you go to their office, say like you're signing up, you need somebody to help you with your money. When you walk in their office, they love to display their degrees on the back wall. That's to impress you. That's to impress you. When you walk in, maybe you don't have a degree, or maybe you have one degree and you see their degrees on the wall. You're like, ooh, they must be smart. They must know something, right? This is what you do. You look at the degrees like you're admiring the degrees because that's what they like. But you're looking at the year they graduated. That's what you're looking for, okay? And then after they're done talking and introducing themselves or doing whatever, you say just like this: do you have student loan debt? If they say yes, you got to go just like this. Say like it was the year 2023. You take 2023 minus the year they graduated college. And say like it was 15 years ago. You got to say to yourself, I'm about to trust somebody. I'm about to pay somebody to manage my money with student loan debt older than their business. This student loan debt, I'm holding the calculator. You might add it up. I'm holding the calculator. Then all of a sudden you look on their desk and see their children, and you're like, wait a minute, their student loan debt is older than their children. Yep. And you're about to trust them with your money. You're about to pay them. Then you ask him, you say, hey, if you're bold enough, you have two choices. You can get up and say, let them do their spiel, and you can be done and not talk to them again. It's like, no, I'm not going to deal with that person. Or you can ask him, you're like, hey, why have you had your student loan debt for 15 years? How come it's not paid off? You see their clothes, you see their car, you see the office, everything's nice. Look at the furniture, but they got 15-year-old student loan debt. That doesn't make sense. That's wrong. They have to have an answer for that. They won't have one. And then you leave. You say, no, thank you. I don't need your services. Hard to know. They can tell us anything, a lie, and may be suspicious. So yes, they are debt free. Well, here's the psychological part of it all. You have to know there's a psychological part in capitalism. You have to know that. So say like I was a finance person, okay? And somebody walked into my office and said, are you debt free? I would say, yes. Personally debt free? I would say, personally debt free, you mean? Yes, I am. That's what I would say. It wouldn't be a weird question. I wouldn't be offended. There's nothing to be offended about it. People who are debt free, people who are personally debt free, they're proud to say it. They're proud to say that. You guys have to, when it comes to your money, you got to take your feelings out of it. You can't care, especially people that you're about to pay. If they start getting their feelings into something, you got the wrong person. You're about to hire the wrong person. I got a BS degree and a master's degree and a PhD. That's bullshit, more shit, piled higher, deeper. You know what? Now I'm not going to say degrees are not purposeful. It's like thank God I went to college in my early 30s. I'm glad I did that, because when I was young and 18, they always try to push you to go into college right after high school. I didn't know at 18, I don't know what I want to go do for or learn for. That just didn't make any sense to me. So I didn't do it. Everybody was like, oh man, LJ, you're not going to college. I was like, nah, why not? I said, I don't know what I want to do. That's exactly what I said. Well, you better hurry up or whatever. Half the kids that were going, you know what you want to do? No, but they're going because their parents told them they have to. All part of the program. When I got to around 30, I knew getting into computers was the way to go because I knew computers wasn't going nowhere soon. That's exactly how I was thinking. I was thinking, okay, I got to find something that's not going to be gone anytime soon. And I got into computers, into virtualization, and virtualization just took off. And I was already ahead of the curve because I was already learning virtualization early when nobody wanted to touch it. They're like, what's this? You can make a server. A server is a file, and you can make virtual servers on one server and this and that. Oh, you can't do that. I was like, I'll take it. I'll learn it. Mastered that shit. Loved VMware. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Virtual stations, ESX servers. I was loving that. Now I can't even stand. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know any of that stuff now. Any questions? Lately, I've been on, I like to get on topics that I know you guys are doing, debt slaves. A lot of you guys are using like buy now, pay later services. If this is you, put it this way. I'm a run down the line. Say like if you are doing delivery, making car payments, not paying your taxes, using buy now, pay later services, you are in very, very deep financial trouble. Now you're going to be forever. Like the majority of you guys right now, you guys are stuck in the delivery job. Now it's like twofold. The delivery is it's almost like an illusion of freedom. Like you can work when you want, you work as long as you want, you can work as many times, you can stop when you want. It's an illusion of freedom. But now you guys are stuck. Hours of delivering. That's why the hours are getting later and later. 8 o'clock. I'm getting packages dropped off at 9 o'clock p.m. at night. Who do you think's doing that? People use the buy now, pay later. Buy now, pay later. No taxes. Getting your check early, 2 days early before the actual money. I mean, your checks, you guys' checks are gone. It's bananas how far it's gone. And you're not paying no taxes. That's a problem. That's a problem for everybody, though. They're gonna have to put something done to that. Something has to stop there because that's gonna mess shit up. Because everything's delivery. You guys are financing everything, and everything is delivery. That's a lot of people. You need a lot of people to deliver all that stuff. Who's going to be doing those jobs when delivery starts turning into 24-hour delivery? Who's going to be doing those jobs? You debt slaves? You guys are going to be doing it. Student loan debt, car payments, collections, IRS debt. You get that IRS debt on your ass. That's You're owned. Come to the positive side of the economy. Guess what? Credit reports are owner ledgers, debt slaves. Those are owner ledgers. They just keep track of all the businesses that own you. That's how they keep track of you. And they give you a credit score for staying in debt with them. People are like, oh, I got an 850. Why are you saying that? The banks love you for paying back their money on time. So they reward you with an 850 credit score because you're paying them back their money on time with the interest they required. Congratulations. Here's a point, debt slave. Those are reward points for staying in debt. That's not what. When you come on the positive side of the economy and you hear somebody bragging about their credit score, they're probably a debt slave. Why? Because you don't brag about credit scores. When you hear somebody bragging about their credit score, they're probably a debt slave because you don't brag about a credit score. When you're on the positive, when you're on the positive side of the economy, you would never brag about your credit score ever. Because it doesn't mean anything. You guys, this is what you guys don't really understand. When you guys see the doctors and the lawyers and those high paid jobs, those guys are so deep in debt. People with no degrees are financially ahead of them. They're hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Debt slaves, you guys that didn't go to school, you're mad about it. You guys probably got about $10,000-$20,000 in debt. They got hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, but you can't tell because they're driving nice cars and they live in nice houses. And you guys think they're rich. They're not rich. They're in debt. The hospitals, like doctors that are deep in debt, the hospitals own them. The hospitals own the doctors. When you see hospitals advertising, hey, come to our hospital, we'll help you pay off some of your student loan debt. They just want to know if you're in debt because that's how they're going to treat you, like a debt slave. A doctor who's a debt slave, deep in student loan debt, and will do anything they tell them because if you want that, instead of just paying the debt off yourself, you signed up to be a slave for them for 10 years. Say it like this, and you're a doctor. Say it like you're a doctor, right? And you make $150,000, let's say $200,000 a year, but you have $400,000 in student loan debt for going to whatever practice you have. But you have $200,000 in student loan debt, and then you go to a hospital because they offer to pay off your student loan debt in 10 years. And then you sign up for that, they're going to abuse you because you don't know. Why would you ever do that? Sign up for you make $200,000 a year. You have $400,000 in student loan debt. Instead of just paying your debt off in 3 to 4 years, you sign up for 10. That tells the hospital you obviously don't know, so they're going to treat you accordingly, like a doctor that doesn't know, just like that. You make $200,000, $400,000 in student loan debt, but you're going to sign up with this hospital because they'll pay off your student loan debt in 10 years. They're going to abuse you, calling you when they want, make you wear the electronic leashes. You know, sometimes when I go to the hospitals, some doctors look so tired. Now they don't know that I can see them because I'm not a debt slave. I don't live on that side of the economy. They don't know that I'm looking at it like that, but they look so tired. They got all these fucking gadgets all over them so they can be contacted every 5 minutes. Say like you're a doctor and you specialize in something and you're really good at something, but you have no debt. You can go to the top hospital and drop your salary requirements and they'll pay it. You know why? They make trillions of dollars. Hospitals make trillions of dollars. A doctor's salary is nothing. They get more than that. Say like you're a doctor that, you make $200,000 a year, but guess what? The hospital owns 24 hours of your life. And they're paying you only they own 24 hours of your life, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and they're only paying you $200,000 a year minus taxes. They're getting a deal. How do I know this? Because I was an engineer in the same position. I specialized in the VMware component of the business. I was the go-to person. Guess what? I was called all the time, on call, off call, when I'm out with my friends, whatever. Hey, LJ, what's up, man? Hey, we're having a damn problem. I didn't realize, wait a minute, you guys are calling me anytime you want. That means you think you own 24 hours of my life. No, you don't. Hey, we'll pay for your phone if you want. No, no, thank you, job. Nope, I don't want none of your stuff attached to my personal anything. Nothing. Because as soon as you say like this, say like you allow your job to pay part of your phone bill. Psychologically, now you believe you must answer that phone all the time because they're paying part of the bill. They didn't say that. But if you decide to answer it anytime they call, that's on you. Michaela says, what advice would you give a person new to the work industry with zero debt? Stay zero debt. When you go in the work industry, especially if you're young too, this is the key. You're just starting and you're young. What you don't know is that right now you are financially free if you have no student loan debt after school or whatever. Say like you just out of school, you have no student loan debt, you starting to work industry, whatever you decide to do, you go into the field that you went to college for or whatever, right? And you have no debt. What that kid doesn't know, they are currently financially ahead of 99% of the population right now, but they don't know it because they ain't got they see all this stuff, people with houses and cars and these clothes and red bottoms, this, Gucci, that. They don't know that all those people are making payments on all that shit. None of that matters. If they're making payments on a car, it doesn't matter. Clothes, house, they're making mortgage payments, doesn't matter. It's the bank's house, doesn't matter. When you're young, never get in debt. Don't finance nothing. During the time while you're working, you're going to notice this. When you're in the work, when you get out into the workforce and you stay debt free, you're going to speak a different language, a financial language than most, because the majority of people that you're going to work with, they're there because they have to be there. When you have no debt, it's a choice for you to be there. It's a choice to be there. So when you're at work and you start hearing people at work saying all these debt things, hey, the manager is treating me like this. I don't like the way the manager is talking to me like that and this and that. They'll complain, but they won't say it to the manager. If you are debt free and you have a job and your boss decides to talk to you, think they're going to talk to you like they talk to everybody else, you're going to nip that in the bud right away. You're going to stop and say, hey, whoa, hey, can I talk to you in the office? Yeah. Don't talk to me like that. That's how you're going to say it. Don't talk to me like that. I'm here to do a job and I do my job. So don't talk to me like that. If you're going to do that, I'm going to write an email to your boss or the superior, whatever. You're going to tell them. Because when you have no debt, a job is a tool. It's nothing. You don't need it. You don't definitely not going to work at places you don't like. That doesn't happen. That no longer happens. No more disrespectful bosses. People causing problems at work. You don't even work in those type of environments. You don't refuse to work in those type of environments. But a boss that treats you like shit, that doesn't exist. That'll be like that through your whole career. And when you pick something along your career, make sure you perfect it. And when you have no debt, each time you get a different job, you're going to come on your resume, what you do, whatever, right? And then you're going to come to the job with your salary requirements. You're no longer going to have to deal with their charts. Hey, when you're here for 5 years, you move the K, F, and then the J, J, and then double S, and then you're like, hey, that's not for me. This is what I require right here. If you're not going to pay it, I'm not going to work here. That's how it's going to be. You don't go by those charts. That's for debt slaves. You mean to tell me I got to work here for 10 years to get a $5 raise? You're insane. I'm not doing any of that. No, thank you. Well, this is the way we do. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for your time. And then you're going to shake the hand and leave. But if you do that, by the time in your 20s and by the time you get your 30s, you get a house, you pay it off. If you got a mortgage, that's your sole focus. The only finance thing when you're young, that'll be the only thing. You pay that house off in 5 years. You pay that house off. You never have rent or mortgage for the rest of your life, starting in your 30s. No rent or mortgage for the rest of your life, starting in your 30s. While the rest of the population believe rent or mortgage is normal, you will know it's not. You know how much money you'll have? Oh man. Just with no debt and no mortgage or rent, do you know how much money you have? Oh my God. Mm. Starting in your 20s. Oh man, crazy. Heading out. What's up, Luminoff? I'll catch this one later for the replay. Okay, cool, cool. You know how much money you'll have? If I had this knowledge in my 20s, my friends would have been different. Put it this way. When I look at people now, like Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, when you're in debt, they look like they know something, right? You know, to me, when I was in debt, let's just use me. I'm gonna use myself. When I was in debt, when I looked at those guys, the only thing I said to myself is that, okay, they know something that I don't know. It's not because they're white. It's not because they're Jewish. It's not. I knew it wasn't because of that. One time I was in the same thing. Same thing. But when I went to North Carolina, I went to the Biltmore Estates. There's this. I hope I'm saying it right. Where you get a tour of the Biltmores of how they lived back in the 1800s. Now, when I went into this house, this mansion, it was a mansion, excuse me, not a house, but a mansion. You're walking by the quarters, the maid's quarters, and this and that, and then you come into this one room with a fireplace so big that I could walk in it. I'm 5'11", 6 foot, right? I would have to kind of go like this, but I could go into the fireplace and stand in like that. When I saw a fireplace like that, I was like, okay, first I was amazed. I was like, wow, that's a big fireplace, right? But when I saw how big it was, I said to myself, there's obviously something that I don't know. I'm missing something. I'm missing a piece of something because this is not regular. Not to say, ooh, wow, they're rich. No, it's something that this is like same thing with the UK. You see the UK, you see the King Queen Palace. When you look at the palace, when I look at the palace, I looked at it and said, there's clearly something that I'm missing. There's clearly something that I'm missing. And the missing piece was the psychological piece. You have to know, if you ever want to attain wealth like that, you have to understand that there's a psychological piece in capitalism. And if you know this in your 20s and in your 30s, oh man. Let me tell you, young dudes, young men, you guys are so following dudes that tell you how to get women and how to get much sex and this and that. The majority of people that are telling you to do that, they're on the negative side of the economy. I know you guys think that one doesn't have nothing, but it does. When you come to the positive side of the economy, you say, why would I follow another man to tell me what to do with my dick? Why would I do that? That doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to let another guy or guys tell me what I should do with my private parts. That doesn't make any sense. I'll do what I want to do with it. How about that? Because when you own yourself, your confidence goes through the roof. You know why it goes through the roof? Because you'll know something that millions of people don't know. Debt slaves, they don't know. They don't know nothing. They own nothing. They don't even own themselves. And if you're a young person and you understand this and you know the majority of people around you don't own themselves, you'll be wealthy. You're going to be wealthy because you know exactly how to do it. But the key is this. You have to learn you have to create something. Elon Musk created. Jeff Bezos created. Warren Buffett created. You got to create something. You got to give the people something that maybe they don't know. People didn't know they needed an iPhone. They didn't know that, but now look at it. It's around the world. It's everywhere. Until Tesla until Tesla comes out and the only thing I'm thinking is Apple they must be building satellites. Apple, listen, I mean, they got the money. They got the money to build satellites, right? The only thing I'm thinking, Apple must be building satellites right now. They have to be. Same goes for AT&T, Verizon. Those companies must be building satellites. They have to be. Because when Elon comes out with his phone that can be used anywhere in the world, where do you think everybody's going? Where do you think everybody's going? They're going to Elon. You're very welcome. Very welcome. I want young people. I want everybody to get this right, but the younger the better, because once you own yourself, this is life order. Once you own yourself, time is number one, money's number two. If there ever a financial situation where these two start to conflict, that means whatever you're thinking about doing is wrong. Say it like this: time's number one, money's number two. You are falling on hard times, so you decide you're going to go out and sell some cocaine. Where according to the law of the United States, if you get caught selling cocaine, you're going to prison. That means they say the law says if you do that and get caught, we're going to take away time. We're going to take away some time out of your life. You are selling cocaine for money. Conflict. That means no. That means you don't do it. That means no. You got to figure out, oh, okay, I better do something else. Conflict. That's right there. I wish there was somebody around me to tell me that, just like that, to tell me just like that. Hey, you know, time is the most valuable thing on earth, right? Yeah. If you get caught selling drugs, the law said they're going to take the time away from your life. Conflict. What are you selling drugs for? Money. That means your order is this. Money is number one. Time is number two. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's totally wrong. Uh-oh, conflict. I wish somebody was around to tell me it like that. Trust me. I wish somebody was around, because you get caught up in the money. You don't really understand that. This right here, this is psychological. You're going to trade. They print this for pennies. Say like this. Let me give you another conflict scenario. Say like you went to go sell $100 worth of cocaine, but you happen to sell it to an undercover officer for $100. Now, if you go look on the government's website, they print $100 for 17 cents. But the law says if you get caught selling, and I'm just making this up, I don't know exactly, it counts on where you're at, but say like you get caught selling $100 worth of cocaine, you can get 5 years in prison. And you go sell you're going to sell $100 worth of cocaine, you get caught for $100 deal. You think you got caught for $100 deal, but what you really did was trade the time of your life for 17 cents. 5 years. Now for 5 years, you're going to be making license plates for 17 cents a month. And you're going to be happy to do it because it gets you out of your cell. Conflict. Get it? Most important. Exactly. 5 years. You just gave 5 years of your life for 17 cents. Now, say like I was in jail, and then I realized this, and then really realized that I'm in prison for 17 cents. That would drive a motherfucker crazy. That would. Because when I was young, I wish I would have had somebody. Now, I'm not saying that I would even listen to that person, but I would have had to listen because I would have never heard anybody say it like that before. Never. Nobody's ever said it like that, ever. Go like this. Hey, Linnell, yeah, drive down the street. Say like I was 16. I'm driving down the street with the older version of me. This is what I would do. Say like the younger version of me in the car. I'm my age now talking to the younger version of me. I would say just like this. I'll be driving down the street. I'll be just like this. You see that over there? Yeah, those are graveyards. You know what that? You know who's in them? Dead people. People that used to be like you and me, driving and walking down the street. Now they're in there. I would have said, like, why are you telling me that? That means your time here is limited. That means you're not going to be here forever. So that means you have limited time here on earth. So what are you going to do with it? Sell drugs? Okay, 5 years gone. Now, what you going to do with the left of it? Go back again? You're going to do it again? 10 years. Now you're 15 years gone. Now what are you going to do with the time you have left? Making it harder and harder for yourself here, right? In society, getting felonies and shit, making life just so much harder. Conflict. I wish somebody would have said it to me like that. Hey, he's right. I'm going to be here for a limited time. I'm going to do what it needs to take to use this time wisely. Wish somebody would have talked to me, man. Somebody said money over everything and you believe them, you're a debt slave for sure. Debt slaves always use these terms. Uh, credit is king. Credit's worth more than cash. You know the value of the dollar's down. It's fiat currency. Do you guys know that's debt slaves? What's up, Nicer? Do you know that's debt slaves? That's debt slaves talking to you. I hope you guys understand that. That's debt slave talk. Credit is king. Money holds no value. What are you talking about? Money buy anything. What are you talking about? Pretty soon, money's not going to be worth. You know why? Anybody you hear say that? This is what I want you to say. When you hear somebody say, "Always use credit. Credit is king," you turn to them and say, "Are you making car payments? Do you have student loan debt? Did you finance that refrigerator with the TV screen in it in your mortgaged house? Did you do that?" That's why you think like that. That's why you're talking like that. That's how you get rich. Do you have a mortgage? You hear somebody call themselves a homeowner? Do you own a house? Oh, yeah, I don't rent. You got a mortgage? Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. Mortgage payments are rent. It's just not called rent. Rent is an expense. Mortgage is debt. There's when you see mortgage versus rent, you gotta say to the person saying it, there is no comparison. What are you comparing those two for? That's like oranges and apples. That there is no comparison, rent versus mortgage. Hey, I'm paying less in my mortgage over here than I was in rent over there. Why are you saying that? You're over here, you didn't have $350,000 worth of debt. Now you have $350,000 worth of debt, and you think you're winning? No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not winning. You're losing. Now, if I could go back, ooh, any of you guys might have low self-esteem. If you have, put it this way, if you're a person, man or woman, it doesn't matter. If you have low self-esteem, you won't anymore. That'll be gone. Your low self-esteem problems, scared to talk to people because they might get mad. You won't care. You won't. Not saying that you're going to be rude to them. I'm saying that their opinions of you or what you do, what type of person you are, it won't matter. Say like there's somebody that's acting like they're better than you, putting you down or whatever. You say, "Are you making car payments?" Yeah. Then that's a debt slave talking to you. Who cares? You won't care the opinions of debt slaves. Debt slaves are people who do not own themselves. If they have a mortgage, who cares what they think? Who cares what they drive? Who cares where they go on vacation? They got to come back. They got to come back to the plantation. They have to come back. When you own yourself, you don't even use the word vacation anymore. You just, hey, I want to go there and stay as long as I want. You don't have to put in a permission slip, cross your fingers, and hope you get those days off by your seniority because you have more seniority than Bobby and Susie. You just go. Instant self-esteem boost. Boom, straight to the roof. If you were shy, that's gone. That's no more. Whatever. You'll be like, say like you're wearing something that's not so popular or whatever. Hey man, you know, you're wearing Reebok. Reebok is not in style no more. You go, it is for me. That's why I bought it. It's in style for me. Are those red bottoms? No, they're just tennis shoes. No. You won't care what people think. You could dress check this out. You could dress the way you want to dress. You could do what you want to do. And you won't care about the opinions of people who do not own themselves. They don't even own themselves. Instant. Growing up, I've never had a self-esteem problem. I've never had that type of problem. But this is just 10x'd it because I know something that millions of people don't. It is what it is, you know? And I feel blessed to be able to share it with people that deserve it, that deserve to know it, that's going to use it properly. Now let me throw up my banners here. Here's my Cash App. Thank you everybody who donates from watching my videos. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. SavingsMinusDebt is my email, and you can schedule a consultation at SavingsMinusDebt.com. All right, I'm about to wrap it up here. Following this one. I don't know. Sometimes I'll be following some of these guys on Instagram, man. This guy right here. What is he saying right here? What's the home buyers? You're being lied to. Oh, God. Appreciate it, Christopher. Thank you. Thank you. Django Geek. Appreciate you. I love what I do. And before I go, I'm gonna say this so you guys can. It's more to give you guys inspiration for when you know. One day, I'm going to be known around the world. That's a fact. I already know. Just the world doesn't know yet. I already know. There's a psychological piece in capitalism, and I know for a fact that the world doesn't know. It's just the majority of the majority of the world doesn't know, and that's how it's supposed to be. There must be a balance of people that don't know, and must be people that do know. The few of us that do know. I'm here to help the people because we're all human and we all die. So there must be people over here to help understand, to manage the debt slaves. Because debt slaves cannot do it by themselves. They can't. The economy would immediately tank, immediately. So there must be people here that understand. I'm here to help the people that understand. Come over to the positive side of the economy. I'm here to teach you how to participate in the economy correctly. All your taxes, all the financial laws properly, teach you the psychological piece of it all so you can participate in it properly. You know, you run a business, you pay your taxes properly, You won't have to worry about audits because you'll be paying your taxes properly. IRS agents have millions of people not paying, so they got to stretch all their resources to catch the people not doing it. You think they're going to waste the resources on people that are doing it correctly? And not just correctly, 100% properly. The closest that you could possibly come to. Let me not say 100%, but the closest you can get to is perfect. Anything less would just be a mistake. I appreciate that. Always a great revelation when you go live. Thank you, LJ. You're welcome. Just been feeling late. What's up, Aaron? What I've had to do, then I'm gonna get out of here. What I've had to do was when you get on the positive side, you see the psychological piece in capitalism, you understand that 99% of all social media platforms are debt slaves. And if you get on social media a lot and you allow yourself to start to believe what the majority are showing you with the cars, the jewelry, it could be NBA players, professional athletes. If you believe that stuff, because you guys don't believe a professional athlete could be a debt slave. They can too. If they're making payments, it doesn't matter. They're employees just like you. They just make more. That's it. If you're a regular person with a regular job and you see a professional athlete, they are employees of the franchise. They make payments just like you. Their payments are just more. They got bigger houses. They got bigger payments. Nicer cars. They got bigger payments. They're the same as you. There's no difference at all. It doesn't make any sense. Whatever. All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna get on out of here. 6 o'clock, just after 6. You guys have a wonderful evening. Share if you come across this. Share with whoever who you think need to hear it. I know a lot of you guys share my videos with people. I know you don't hear from. You probably don't hear from them no more. Hey, why don't you check out LJ? I'm gonna send you this video. You probably never hear from them again. All right, you guys take it easy. See you later.